Hello everyone, happy Sunday and happy Mother's Day. I hope you've all had a lovely, lovely day today. I hope you got spoiled. Tell me in the comments, guys, what happened today for you? Did you get spoiled? Did you get a sleep in? Come here. I've got my little one here with me. Come on, come say hi. No? All right. Yes, it's Mother's Day, so the kids are here with us too. Pop in, Gem, and say hi. Just give everyone a quick wave. All right, off you go to bed. Alrighty, so I'm actually hoping there's not too many of you on here tonight because I think you should all be off celebrating and having a lovely dinner with your families. But I can see you on here. Hi, Mel. I can see you there. Guys, let me know in the comments what you've been doing today. Let's see if the comments actually work tonight. That would be amazing. And we got a bit, there we go. Alrighty. So tonight we are going to finish, happy Mother's Day to you too, Mel. We are going to finish our macro series tonight. And we're going to look at the final most important macro, which is a macronutrient for those that are a bit late to the game, which is protein. So protein is an essential element of the human body. So we need, much like fats, we actually do need protein to survive. It is important for our physical health and our overall well-being. Protein is an interesting one because it is available in so many different foods. But I'm going to ask you guys straight up, which protein-rich food is your favorite? I'd love to know. Mine is definitely a good piece of lean red meat. Cooked perfectly, not overdone, just nice and juicy. That is absolutely my favorite. Tell me in the comments, guys, which one is yours. Alrighty, so just give me 2 seconds, guys. Okay, like I said, it's Mother's Day. They don't leave us alone. Righty, so I'd like you, let's settle into protein. I'd like you to have a think about when we were Paleolithic beings. So we've touched on this briefly before in the group. Paleolithic beings, when we were a race of hunters and gatherers, what did we predominantly eat? Does anybody know? We ate meat. That's what we ate. We ate meat. Not us particularly, but, you know, human beings ate meat. Animals, they ate whatever they could catch and then kill and then cook to eat, right, over the fire. And the predominant nutrients in animals is fats and proteins. Now, we already know that fats are essential for human survival, but so is protein. And this is because at an evolutionary level, we are designed to digest and utilize animal meat to survive. So way back when we were Paleolithic beings, before carbs, before the industrial, revolution, all that sort of stuff, we wouldn't eat plants and grains, okay, like we did eat the animals. We would hunt, we would cook, and we would eat animals. We would feast on the animals and then not eat again for a few days, okay? We've talked about this before, the idea of feast and famine. We talked about that in our fasting video earlier in the year. The meat that we ate was sufficient enough not only to keep us alive, but to give us enough energy to go on another hunt and to last a few days without food until we did make our next catch. So after we ate a big meal, it might have taken us a day to sleep off all that digestion, but we still needed energy a couple of days later or to keep going until we did find our next catch for dinner. And the protein, it's the protein in the meat that allowed us to do that. So how does it do that? What does protein do in our bodies? So proteins have something called amino acids. They are the building blocks for cell development, bones, muscle repair, and anything pretty much that grows in our body, right? Even down to our eyelashes and our eyebrows. Mine need a wax, don't look too closely. Protein is an active ingredient in just about every cell mechanism in our body, and without it coming in through food or drink, our bodies will try and find it, and they find it in places in our bodies. And the place that has the most protein in our bodies is our muscles, okay? So when we're not getting enough protein in our diet and our body needs more protein, it will start to pull it from our muscle stores. Unfortunately, there's not an awful lot of protein in our fat stores. So it's not going to feed off of our fat stores first. It's going to go to our muscles. So protein has enzymes, which are critical for digesting. Okay, so digesting our food. They're also critical for energy production, so burning calories, blood clotting, believe it or not, and muscle contractions. So making sure our muscles can move and we can pick things up and we can walk and all those sorts of things. But protein also acts as messengers. They deliver messages between the cells and the tissues in our bodies, right? They are also important for keeping our immunity up. So our immune health is at its peak when we've got enough protein. And this means that we can help prevent ourselves from getting sick. Can you see why protein's really, really important, guys? It's not just about, protein's not just something for people who want to build muscle or be a bodybuilder or, or lose weight or anything like that. It's actually a necessity that we get enough protein in our bodies to be fit and healthy. It literally holds us together, okay? I'm just going to put my phone on silent because I always forget to do that. But here's an added bonus about protein, and this one might pique your interest a little bit. Proteins take longer to digest in our stomachs than carbohydrates do, which means it keeps you feeling fuller for longer and less of it goes to your bloodstream. We've talked about this so many times. The less that a food goes to your bloodstream, the less it counts for calories. Okay, so proteins are a bit like fats in that way. They take longer to digest, whereas carbohydrates, simple processed carbohydrates I'm talking about, can almost immediately go to your blood stores because they're digested really quickly. But even better than that, protein has a higher thermogenic rating than fats and carbs, which means that your body uses more energy, like burning calories, guys. It uses more energy just to digest the protein than it would do for fats and carbs. So you are actually burning more calories while you are eating protein, okay? Win-win, right? So think of it effectively like this. When you eat, your body burns calories to digest your food because everything needs energy to work. But when you eat protein, because it's much harder to digest, your body uses more calories, okay? So it's using more, it's burning more fat, it's, getting rid of all the rubbish in your body just to burn the protein. Wow, right? Who knew that? Let me know in the comments if you knew that already. Because I think some of you did. We might have touched on this before, I'm not 100% sure. Okay, so where do we find protein in food? Okay, we find protein in food. And preferably, it is best to eat lean proteins wherever you can to reduce your calories, okay? Nope, Mel says nope, that sounds good. Higher protein foods, like things like eggs, red meat, chicken breast, turkey, beans, tofu, fish, nuts, some seeds, and in specifically formulated protein-based products like protein shakes, protein bars, foods, and all those sorts of things. They're the sorts of things that you want to be including in your diet on a regular basis. Now, if you're a vegetarian, of course, you're not going to eat meat just for the protein purposes. Don't do that. There are plenty of things, like I said, beans, eggs, tofu, nuts, okay, some seeds, and then you've got your protein-based products like your powders. So, how much protein should you be eating? And this is a really important one. A good rule of thumb to aim for is to have about 40% of your calories to come from protein if you are not specifically on a bodybuilding diet or on a specific weight loss program. Hi, Jodine, I can see you there. So 40% of your calories would be a good aim, 40% of what you eat, yeah? So just to give you an idea, each 1 gram of protein has 4 calories. We've talked about this before, okay? Every time you eat 1 gram of lean protein, you are inducing 4 calories. If you're eating 100 grams of protein, you're inducing 400 calories, okay? Timesing it by 4. So if you are on a 1,500 calorie diet, 40% of those calories is 600, right? So you want to get 600 calories a day from lean proteins. And if each gram has 4 calories, you want to be eating 150 grams of protein every day. Now, this isn't 150 grams of a food that has protein. So, for example, let's say beans. You wouldn't eat 150 grams of beans to make that up, because the beans also have carbs in them, right? 150 gram serving of beans might have 10 grams of protein in it, if you're lucky. I don't think it's that much. I think it's less than that. You actually want that many grams of protein. So over the day, that's how many grams of protein you'll eat. By doing that, by aiming for 40% of your daily calorie intake to be of protein, it will keep you feeling full, it'll keep you energized, and it will keep all of your cells actively growing. Not your fat cells, by the way, because we don't want to grow those. Actively growing and repairing themselves, okay? You will be nice and healthy if you are getting enough protein. So at a minimum, I suggest that everybody eats at least 100 grams of protein a day, as often as you can. There are going to be days where you're not going to do it, and that's fine. But there are also going to be days when you're going to eat very low processed carbs too. It's all a balance, okay? But if you're really someone who's wanting to feel better, to maybe lose some weight, be a little bit fitter, especially if you're looking to build muscle, you need to aim for at least 100 grams of protein a day, no matter what you're doing, just to get the most out of your food and feel healthy, all right? So at least 100 grams of protein. Let's have a quick chat about protein supplements. Guys, give me a holler in the comments below if you use a protein supplement, all right? I definitely do. But you all know what I do for a living. You all know what my goals are, and that's the reason I do it. And I'm going to talk a little bit about them now. Because when you are looking at protein supplements, there are two main sources of protein, two main types of protein. There's casein and whey. Both of these are derived from milk products, but casein whey is very slow digesting, which makes it ideal for having before bedtime because your body will slowly release the protein and the energy while you're sleeping. Whey protein is what you find more in your shakes and things like that. It is more common in the shakes and bars than the casein because it's faster to digest, which actually makes it better for having directly after a workout or an exercise session. And you know that we've talked before about the fact that when you've done a heavy workout or you've lifted some weights or done some squats, you've basically pushed your muscles to failure. Your cells are open, yeah? We've talked about this. Your cells are open and looking for energy. They're looking for something to go in. And as we've explained before, this is a good time to eat your processed carbohydrates if you're going to eat them. But the best thing that you can do for your muscles and your muscle growth and repair is to get a lean protein in straight away. And this is where a whey protein shake is really good because your cells are open and ready. And the whey protein shake is fast digesting, which means it's going into your bloodstream really quickly and it's going to reach those cells. They're going to grab it, they're going to close up, and they're going to use it to repair and grow and do all that goodness that you want to do. So to get the most out of a workout, recommend a whey protein shake within 30 to 40 minutes afterwards. So there's the two types of proteins, casein and whey. They are what you'll come across if you do look at protein supplements. Now, I know that there are a lot of people who wonder if protein supplements are even safe or if they're worth it. My answer to this is yes. There are exceptions to the rule, but my answer is yes. There isn't anything in them that's going to harm you, unless you're like lactose intolerant or something, then get one that's lactose free. But there's nothing that's going to harm you in them, especially when you consider the other rubbish that we put into our bodies, right? So if you're someone who thinks maybe you don't want to put a protein shake or something in your body because it's synthetic or it's not real food, but you're quite happy to go and put a Mars bar in your mouth on a regular basis or ice cream every day, I think that probably needs to be looked at. But there's nothing wrong with putting a protein shake in your body. In fact, a protein shake would be much healthier for you than a bowl of ice cream every night. I can guarantee it. But of course, at the very baseline, eating actual food filled with natural proteins, filled with nutrients, vitamins, minerals, all those sorts of things will always be better than taking a protein shake. And our bodies use more energy to digest real food than it does to digest a protein shake, because the chewing process alone stimulates an energy burn. Yeah, so it all starts with the chewing process. But if you are someone who struggles to fit enough food in, and I know there's a lot of you in this group who struggle to eat enough food over the day, which means you will probably struggle to get enough protein in. Or if you are someone who is looking to tone up, looking to build muscle, burn fat a little bit quicker, if you do workouts to change the shape of your body, then a protein shake is a very quick and filling answer. I wouldn't be having it more than 3 times a day, to be honest. 3 shakes a day or 3 protein supplements a day is maximum. Okay, so maybe do 2 shakes and a bar or something like that. It's maximum. My thing though is that it really shouldn't be used as a meal replacement. And as such, it can be just a good thing to have after a workout, like as an after workout meal, or if you need to between meals to keep going. So like, let's say you don't stop for work or whatever, or you're driving home and you're hungry, having a protein shake is a really quick, easy and healthier option than a packet of chips, or it's better than eating nothing, getting home and grabbing at everything while you're trying to cook dinner because you're so hungry. So that's when a protein shake's a really good idea. So I know what your next question is going to be. Which one do I recommend? Well, there's so many on the market, and I'll be honest, I have done a fair chunk of trial and error. I have quite a few numbers of protein tubs sitting in my kitchen that my husband now uses, or that I might only use if I'm using it in cooking, because, you know, the guy at the store tells you that they taste nice and they really don't. I'm one for big on taste. I will not, waste my calories on a protein shake that tastes disgusting, or a protein bar or anything like that. So I'm going to tell you what I think, but it's up to you. Everybody's different. If you are serious about your protein intake, and I'm guessing you are because you're here watching this video, and you know the benefits of protein for weight loss and muscle growth and all those sorts of things, you will want to go for a more pure protein shake, something like bodybuilders use. These ones will be just about all protein with very little carbs and fats, maybe 1 to 2 grams of each, like 1 to 2 grams of carbs and or fats in a serving, in a 30-gram serve approximately. These shakes will be around about the 90 to 120 calories with 25 grams of protein. So my top 3 or 4 that I would recommend if you are interested in going down the protein shake line would be Maxine's Burn. That one is actually one of my favorites. Max's is fine too. So there's Max's and Maxine's. Max's is targeted at men. Maxine's is targeted at women. Much of a muchness. You don't have to be male or female to take each one. The other brand is Musashi. Now, Musashi is available. They've revamped theirs. I found this out recently, so I'm glad I can add this one back to the list. They used to be really high in sugar. It's why it was always the best flavoured one, because they had a lot more sugar in it than others, but they have actually reformulated. So, and Musashi is a bit cheaper, and it can be found at Woolies and Coles as well. So we're talking about the protein powder here, not their bars. Different story. So Musashi is a good one. Rule 1 is generally more of a pure protein. It's not bad. It's a bit on the more expensive end, but it's actually a bit more pure. It's quite nice. And Optimum Nutrition is a really good one as well. Again, on the higher end. I have had trouble finding Optimum Nutrition ones that taste nice. And if I do, it's generally a chocolate flavoured one. The flavours that you'll probably struggle the most to find a good one in is vanilla. I find they all vary. All the vanillas vary so much. And I generally only get vanilla if I'm putting it in with food, like if I'm making overnight oats and I want to put protein powder in. Otherwise, I grab chocolate, because you can't really go wrong with chocolate. But I know some of you in here do the Maxine's Burns and the Musashi, so let us know let us know in the comments what flavours you guys like. Because it'd be, I'm sure there's people here who don't know, and they might want to go and buy one, and if you can recommend one, that would be great. Yvonne, yeah, Maxine's burn is really good. Yeah, that is my number one that I use all the time. But up to you guys, and it's whatever suits your budget as well. All those things need to be factored in. Now, there are other ones, things like Nature's Way. I'm not going to pick on Nature's Way, but I'm going to use it as an example. So Nature's Way can be found at your Woolies, your Coles, your chemists, all those sorts of things. It's really cheap in supermarkets, and they are okay. But note that they are more of a meal replacement than they are a protein shake. They're higher in calories, and they have a lot more carbs and fats in them than a pure protein powder. They also have a gluggy texture, which, when not blended properly, is not great to put in. But they're more of a, just know the difference. They're not actually a targeted protein shake. They're high in protein, and they say protein, but things like that are more of a meal replacement than they are a protein supplement. Mel says she uses the Musashi plant protein in the chocolate flavour. Awesome, Mel. Is that nice? I'd like to know if that one's nice. Oh, there's two of you. And Narelle says that too, Musashi chocolate protein powder. Oh, she says it's nice. Beautiful. Maybe I'll have to give that one a crack when I've run out of mine. All right. So a bit of advice for when you're shopping around for protein powders. The lower the calories per serve is best, right? So you want to aim for at least 19 grams of protein per scoop of protein powder, at least. If it's got less than 19 in it, I would probably just be cautioning where it went to, like what if it's even worth your money. And look, you don't just have to have it plain with water, but if you're watching calories, I would always just mix it with water. But protein powder doesn't just have to be with water and drunk and whatever. So some of the different ways that I do it is I never put milk in my shakes. You can make it a milkshake with a protein powder, but it adds up pretty quick when you start putting milk in there for calories, particularly if you're watching calories. So I often put a scoop of protein powder in Greek yogurt, right, and mix it up. And because I use chocolate flavour, I can have a chocolate yogurt. And when I have my vanilla flavour, I have vanilla flavoured in there. And then I put my berries on top. You can add a banana to the chocolate powder and make a smoothie, or chocolate with protein powder and make a smoothie. If you want to do like a chocolate banana smoothie or a vanilla banana smoothie, you can do that. You can even add a scoop. I haven't done this with chocolate, but I've done it with vanilla. You can add a scoop of protein powder to your cooked oats. So when your oats are cooked, you can then add protein powder in, and it becomes really creamy. Hit or miss this one. It's definitely worth trying once to see if you like it or not. Some of the powders are even good for baking. You can make cakes, like high protein cakes, high protein mug cakes, all those sorts of things. So you need to get creative if you're not someone who wants to chow down a shake once or twice a day. You can get creative. That's fine. You can do all that. I put mine in my overnight oats. So instead of putting milk in my overnight oats, I put my oats in the container, a scoop of protein powder, and then I put water in, enough to mix it all up, enough so it's a nice thick paste, not too runny, and then put it in the fridge overnight. So I've got my good carbs. So I've got my oats. I've got my 25 grams of protein, and I'm good to go. That'll be my breakfast the next day. Narelle says she uses the chocolate one though, the Musashi Way, not the plant one. Yep. And Mel says the Musashi chocolate one's nice too. So there you go, guys. There's two right off the bat recommended for you. Both Musashi. One's the plant protein in chocolate. One's not the plant protein, but also in chocolate. And they're both really nice. I'm going to have to try them. Okay. The best thing about a protein powder, though, that I like is that you can literally take it anywhere. Get yourself a decent shaker that doesn't leak, please. Get one that doesn't leak. And that might sound stupid, but do you know how many protein shakers my husband and I have gone through because they just leak? The seals break, or they're just not made properly in the first place. So don't skimp on a cheap protein shaker if you can help it. Get one that is, a bit more expensive, good quality. Make sure you're getting a really good one. But the best thing about a protein powder is you can take it anywhere. Okay, I've always got a container with a scoop in it and some extra water and a shake in my car, no matter what I'm doing. Because all you have to do, guys, is add water, shake it, and you're off. Okay, you've got to really, it's gone in 10, 15 seconds because you're drinking it. But it will keep you feeling full, and you know that you're putting some really good things into your body to help with your body goals, whatever they may be. All right, guys, does anyone have any questions about the things we've talked about so far tonight? While I'm waiting for your comments to come up, I'm going to have a quick chat about some other protein supplements. So let me know if you've got any questions. So the last thing I want to talk about tonight with protein is the things like protein bars, cookies, protein. I've even seen like Mars bar protein, like protein Mars bars, things like that. There's so many of those things out there on the market. They're not bad, but you really have to watch the serving size, and you have to weigh up everything else that's in there. So yes, it might be 15 grams of protein, but is it also 30 grams of carbs and 20 grams of fat? You know, you really need to weigh it up. So if you're choosing something that is if you're choosing something for the protein factor, make sure it is predominantly protein that's in that product. Okay. Anything can have all three macros in it, but if you're choosing it for the protein, make sure it's predominantly protein based. Now, there are protein cookies. I'll just use these as an example out there on the market, and they look amazing, and they're huge, right? They're like big, thick cookies. They look amazing, and they catch your attention because they say 40 grams of protein. Well, there's like 40% of your protein intake in one cookie. But it says that's for the, the 2 servings. And one serving of that cookie, now I haven't found one yet that's a decent size that's only 1 serving. Each serving of that high protein cookie is half a cookie. Half a cookie. The calories are super high, and they are often loaded with sugar. Now, I'm going to ask you this. Tell me below if you could actually stop at half a cookie. If you could open up a packet, have this giant, beautiful chopped chip goodness filled with protein, yummy biscuit, who the hell eats half a biscuit, right? Totally fine if you want to. If you can, if you're happy to eat it and account for it, if you can stop at half a cookie, go for it. If you want to eat the whole cookie and go, yeah, you know what, I'll eat that 400 calories because I wanted to eat the whole cookie in one sitting, that's fine. That's up to you. But you need to be aware of the serving size and things like those damn cookies, guys. They look amazing, but they're per serve, and there's often 2 serves in one cookie, all right? So I need you to be really aware when you're looking for things like that. You just have to be aware of what it is, how much you're putting in your mouth, and what it is they're actually advertising. You always want to look for the overall total calorie count of what you eat, particularly if weight management is your goal, okay? So like I said before, when you're shopping around for something high protein to eat or drink or whatever, make sure that it has more protein than fats and carbs, a lot more protein than fats and carbs. And you want to aim for at least 19 to 20 grams of protein in each serving if it's a protein supplement or something. Fresh food is different. You know that's going to be goodness coming in. So you want to make sure there's at least 19 or 20 grams, which if you're doing the math, if it's got 20 grams of protein and we've got 4 calories per gram, automatically that product is going to be at least 80 calories, okay? Now, if it's got 20 grams of protein and it's 200 calories, it's not going to be a protein-based product because there's a whole 120 calories there that are coming from fats and sugars, okay? So that's not what we would call a good protein option. It still might be a nice option to eat. It still might be healthy. It still might be great. But tonight we're talking about protein. And if your goal is to eat predominantly protein-based things, then just make sure you're counting the calories, weighing it all up in the overall big picture of your day. Okay, there's a question here. Excellent question, Narelle, because this is one that is actually, it's a bit personal, I think. Everybody's a bit different. So Narelle's question was, do you have a protein shake before a workout to get some energy, or is after better? After is definitely better. It's more important to get it in within the hour after your workout. That's not to say, though, that you can't have one half an hour to an hour before. There are so many schools of thought. I guess it depends, Narelle, how hard you're pushing in that workout. So if it's like a walk or something low, or maybe even a HIIT workout, where it's sort of, your heart rate's up, probably not before, because you might start to feel a bit gluggy because it's sitting in your stomach. You might, you want to, I don't want to say vomit, but I already said it. So there you go. Some people get sick, they feel really sick if they're doing a high intensity workout with something in their belly. And because protein is slow digesting, and you're about to do a run, or you're about to do a high intensity, probably not before. But if you're doing a weights workout, like where you're not getting your heart rate up as much because you're not bouncing around, you're not running, jumping, but you're lifting heavy, then yeah, a protein shake an hour beforehand's fine. Even I can't recommend highly enough if you're going to even throw down a decent carbohydrate source an hour before you work out as well, because that'll help pump your muscles up. That'll help give you that energy, that little bit slow releasing. So like a banana or some oats or something like that an hour beforehand. Something non-processed, preferably, please. Remember that the processed carbohydrates are more for immediately after the workout when your cells are open. But Narelle, sorry, that was a long answer to your question. I hope I've answered it. Definitely afterwards, definitely in that hour, get that protein straight into the muscle cells. And beforehand, if you are not running, jumping, depends how you feel. Like, you might be someone who's fine to have a protein shake and then go for a run. Everybody's a little bit different. I hope that's answered your question. I hope everyone got something out of that one too. All right, so if there's no other questions, I'm actually going to leave you. I've gone a little bit longer tonight than I wanted to, considering that it is Mother's Day. Ladies, I hope you all had an amazing day. I hope you all got spoiled and you were shown the love that you deserve. I hope at the very least that you got to do something that you wanted to do and put yourself first, because if you can't put yourself first on Mother's Day, I think we've got a problem. Something wrong with the men in our lives, I reckon. All right, guys, have an amazing week. While I've got you quickly, if you can, I would love you to put Sunday, May 22nd in your diaries. That is 2 weeks from now. We are launching something very big. You are going to want to be online that Sunday night here at 7:30. Pop that one in your diaries. Next week, we are going to talk about fruit and why fruit is not always a good option. I'm going to kill fruit for some of you next week. So if you're someone who loves their fruit, tune in. If you are someone who has trouble losing weight and eats lots of fruit and can't work out why, because all you eat is fruit and veg, I might actually have the answer for you next week. So that's going to be next week's topic. But make sure you put in your diaries, ladies, 2 weeks from now, Sunday, May 22nd, it's going to be huge. Alrighty, have a lovely week, ladies. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.